Hello, friends, and welcome back to the Hood Rap Podcast. I'm Hood. This is my boy Space. We both collab with GoCollect to bring you this awesome show about books that went from top to not, and maybe some books you may have forgot about in your cold comic book freezer. But I mean, in general, we're just here to help you find deals in a world full of deals right now in comics, man, because we are in a buyer's market. But how you been, bro?
Been good, dude. It's a good day. It's a good start to the new year. How about you?
I'm good, man. You know, it's a new year, and everything is as tough as it was back in 2023. But even though, how do we keep it on the show, bro?
Man, we do nothing but keep it cool, baby. All right, friends. First book this week is Web of Spider-Man. Number 1, with one of my personal favorite Spider-Man covers of all time. I love this cover. Anytime an homage comes out to this cover, I get it. I don't even care what it is, just because I love this cover so much. So cool looking. But anyways, this is Web of Spider-Man number 1. This is the first one in this series. This is a third ongoing Spider-Man title. This week, it fell to number 58. It's down 26 spots from number 32. And I mean, it's kind of this book constantly goes up and down, just like a lot of the other Spider-Man books.
All the time.
It fluctuates quite a bit. And while it does go up and down, it's one of those like iconic books. If you're a Spidey fan, you want this book because it's like it's a number 1 in the series. It's got Black Suit Spidey on it. And the artwork is just incredible. Artwork by Charles Vest, by the way. This is just such a cool, like, I would love to own this original art, but I know it would just be an astronomical amount. But
way too much.
It's a silly amount that I could never afford. But I would love to. That's a hope and dream of mine. But let's get into the census on this one and kind of see what the numbers are doing with this book. Okay, as we can see with GoCollect and CGC Census right here, gives you a little more info on this book, which is kind of cool at GoCollect. Not everyone is on there, but the vast majority of all the key issues are on there, and this one is no exception. First issue of a new titled series and the first appearance of the Vulturians. Charles Vest, George Roussos, Greg LaRocque, Janice Chang, Phil Felix, they all did art on this. Written by Louise Simonson, the legend. Came out April 10th, 1985, and it was a whole 65 cents when it came out.
65 cents, bro.
I know, dude. Now, looking at what a 9.8 costs versus that 65 cents. When I was looking at this book over the last couple of days, I was like, man, what an investment, right? If you had the foresight, because there's people out there that did it when this book came out.
Mm-hmm.
They bought 50 copies of this book for 65 cents. And they just put them in a box somewhere, and they're all perfect. And they probably got, 10 of them graded and made a oodle of money when this book got real hot. And I don't know.
Probably haven't seen a light of day in like 2 decades, bro.
Yeah, I bet you they're all crispy and they got white pages still. And so, but I mean, I got my copy of this, so I'm happy. But let's see if we can go through numbers and get everyone else watching a good cheap copy of this, whether you want it graded or raw. On the Universal census, there's 9,468 graded. Signature, there's 732, 0 restored, and 26 qualified. There's one lone 10.0 on the census, and it has never sold. So we don't know how much, but I can guarantee it's probably at least 3 times what that 9.9 price tag is going for. 9.9s, there's 11 with 7 sales. So over half of them sold. And the last one was in 2014 for just under $600. So, that's that's, and honestly,
that was a while back though. That's 10 years ago.
Yeah. 10 years ago. But honestly, that's like, it's obviously going to be more than that. But honestly, even then that doesn't even seem that astronomical for a 9.9 with a book this old, because they're so rare. You know, any book now, at least when I look at them, any book that's older than really older than 1980, but even mid 80s, if you got a 9.9 in that, I'm usually in awe, because you know these books go through so much wear and tear, whether it's getting shipped from, you know, the printers to the publishers or vice versa, and then out to the shops, and then into the hands of all the people who've just, you know, manhandled comics like we did when we were kids.
Yep.
So it's for it to be that high of a grade, you know, even in the mid 80s, I'm still usually pretty much in awe. 9/8. There's 2,613 of these on the census, so this is a very plentiful book in 9/8, with 1,326 sales over the, you know, last year, plus of course FMV on that 9/8 is 170. 1 year moving average is 173, 90 day is 159, and 30 day is 163. So we're all right in that ballpark for $160, $170 ballpark for a 9/8. You can get this you can get a copy of this in a 9/8. They're plentiful. 9/6s, there's 2,535 on the census. FMV on that is a little lower at 130. 1 year moving average is 82, 90 days 80, and 30 days 74. 9.4, there's about 1,500 on the census, and your FMV is just a little bit lower at 120, with a 1 year at 68, 90 day at 66, and 30 at 66. You know, this to me is a no-brainer. Just save a little bit of money for under $200 if you really like this book, just like I do. You know, you could get a copy of this for probably $150 in a 9/8. So
great time to get it too, you know,
yeah,
for that price.
Absolutely. Save your money. I picked mine up. I picked my 9/8 up. I've had a couple of these, but I picked my 9/8 up about a year ago now, and it was right around that $140, $150 price tag, $140 price tag, something like that. So it's you know, even more so now. It's going to start dropping a little bit more, at least until we get a little more details of what's going on with the the Madam Web movie, and all the rumors kind of surrounding you know, them bringing out a black suit Spidey in the next one, next Spider-Man movie. So you know, I think it'll dip even a little bit more. Maybe hold off a couple weeks, or if you're really FOMO in it, you can get one now for, like I said, probably around $150. All right, over on eBay, on the 8th of January. Looks like somebody, you know, got a little crazy, and they got a 9/6 for best offer accepted. So they probably got it around $200, but you know, then they're paying another close to $50 for shipping. So it's, you know, that cost of that one's kind of up there. But right below that, the day before, somebody got a 9/2 for $41. So that's a steal. Good
steal price too.
Yeah,
good job.
That's a great price for a 9/2. Right below that on the 7th as well, a 9/6 newsstand went for 120 best offer accepted. So they probably got it around $100 or so.
$100, yeah, probably 100.
And that's a great deal as well, because you know FMV on a 9/6 is about 130. So and then right below that, the day before, best offer accepted, $50 for a 9.4 with $7 shipping. They got a fantastic deal. All those people scored a 9/2,
really good deal,
and a 9/6. Yeah, fantastic.
Three offers accepted out of 4. You know.
Yeah. I mean, that top one is, you know, the highest of the bunch, but you know, it goes to show you that this one's out there. It's plentiful, even in graded, even more so in the raw, and you can get it. You can get that deal. In the raw side of things, on the 7th, looks like one they say near mint went for about $16.50 with another couple bucks for shipping. So probably about $20 all in for, they say near mint copy, but you know, that's tread lightly on people who list near mint. Like Hood says, get your magnifying glass out and really study those pictures. You know, right before that.
I mean, some people just like cut and paste, man. So they don't even look at the near mint, you know.
Yeah, some people will. I've seen people do it too, where I look at a picture of a book that's listed, and then I look at like a couple listings down, and it's the same picture. All they did was screenshot it and crop out everything else, and I'm like, dude, that's not cool. That's like, you know, you could at least show a picture of the actual book. But yeah, on the 6th, another, you know, quote unquote near mint copy went for $25 best offer accepted. Right below that, a direct went for $60. That thing must have looked really
I know,
sharp.
right? I look at
Yeah.
that price, man. I'm like, dude, the
Yeah,
seller
like,
kind of scored, right?
yeah, no, yeah, big time they did. Because if you look over at the graded side of things, this guy got a 9.4 for $50 best offer accepted. All in, he got a cheaper graded copy, and it's probably close to the same grade. So I don't know. And then you know how we do. Hood always finds those bundle deals out there. Right there on the third, they got a Web of Spider-Man 1, a Spider-Man #1, the Todd McFarlane run, and Amazing Spider-Man 365 for $40.
Yeah, and
What
that
a
holo card too,
what
bro.
and the holo card. You're right.
Yeah.
Dang, I didn't see that. I thought it was a little. Yeah, no, that's like, what a steal, man. I would have bought that for $40. I
Yeah,
wish
it's
I
not
would have.
bad.
I
Yeah,
would have
really
seen
good.
it. Yeah,
$10
dude, I got
$10 an item. That's really good. Doing
yeah,
pretty well.
absolutely. Especially since all those books go for a minimum of $10 to $15 raw everywhere. So that's a great deal. Good on that person. Good on
Good
them.
on that dude.
Yeah, dude, for sure.
All right, friends. The next book up that we have here on the Co-Comic Show is Batman: The Killing Joke, one of the classic Batman books that came out in the last, I would say, 3 decades. This one came out on January 1st, 1988. It's at number 69. It dropped 50 spots from number 19. So it's always in the top 100.
Yeah.
This is like a repeat offender.
Yeah, for
But
sure.
it's still a great book and still a great read. This was written by the great Alan Moore. The artist on this was Brian Boland. And on this one, Joker shoots Barbara Gordon, paralyzes her, and she later becomes Oracle.
Yeah.
And this became an animated movie. I remember this coming out at Comic-Con somewhere in like the late 2010s. Yeah, like 2018,
something like that. 2018, 2017,
somewhere around there.
like that. Yeah.
I think everybody was stoked when it came out because everybody was trying to get everybody's lining up to go watch it because they were just they were showing it over there, and everybody loved it because one of the reasons why is because Mark Hamill played the Joker.
That's right.
And that was one of my favorite parts of this. I saw it live as well. But it is a great book to have. This book's always going to be, you should be able to find this in high grade for a decent price.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, because it came in. What's the
cardstock cover?
The cardstock cover,
yeah.
Cardstock cover, and it's glossy.
Yeah.
So you're gonna see a lot of 9.9s, as we move through, on GoCollect and on the census. But it's a really good read. So I'd say buy you a nice copy and buy you a trash copy so you can read it. It's a great read. It's a great read.
This is my second favorite Batman story of all time. For sure. It is a fantastic read if you have not read it.
Yeah, it's awesome. The art's awesome. Everything is awesome. And there's multiple prints of this book. We talked about it I think maybe in our first show. This was on it, right?
Yeah, it could have been. Yeah, first or second show, I think. Yeah,
first or second show. But it keeps showing up, and if you drop 50 spots, I have to put you on the show. So sorry.
Yep.
Sorry about that. The Killing Joke, but I had to put you on the show again. So let's check out what's going on the census and over here on GoCollect. All right, friends, here we go with The Killing Joke by Batman and Alan Moore. Universal copies, we have about 10,000 over there, 10,079. Signature copies, we have 652. Restored, we have 7. That's that purple label of death. Qualifies are 40s. Like I told you, there are a bunch of gem mints. There's not a rare gem mint book.
No,
we have
not at all.
14 of these on the census with 11 sales. And the last one sold on February 21st, 2022 for $6,500. So just imagine that. It's not a, if you find a box full of these, you'll find it. I think you have a chance to find a gem mint, if it's haven't seen the light of day, for a couple years, for a couple of decades.
Yeah, that's a pretty fair assessment, I think. Yeah.
Yeah, but you could score $6,500 worth on a gem mint on these. Yeah. And 9.9 is a ton. I warned you guys previously before. There's 49 of these, 29 sales. Last one to sell was on March 27th, 2023 for $1,725. The 1 year average is $2,263. So it looks like that 2020, that one in March last year, that was actually a pretty good deal.
Definitely a good deal. Yeah. It's like that's a
Nine,
good chunk off.
right?
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
9/8, there's tons of 9/8s.
Yep.
4,400 of these, just rounding up. The F&B on that 9/8 is $190. The 1 year moving average is $217. The 90-day moving average is $188, and the 30-day moving average is $174. And the 9/6s, we have about 2,800 of these on the census. F&B is $110. The 1 year average is $113, and the 90-day average is $103, with the 30-day moving average is about $105. So I'm gonna stop it there because, I mean, you're either gonna get a 9/6 or 9/8 in this book. But I encourage everybody to just buy this raw, buy a raw one for $5 that's been read.
Yep.
And read this book. It's a really good read. You know, Alan Moore classic Batman tale. And it's just it's all Batman and Joker. It's a Joker we have grown to love, you know, like and it's just a great book to read. So I mean, that's what I'm encouraging people to do. Buy it raw and read it, right?
I agree wholeheartedly. I've had like 5 copies of this book, and I've sold them all, and I went and I bought a hardcover of The Killing Joke just so I could read it anytime I wanted to. So I don't have to worry about it getting screwed up. And I've read it probably like 5 times since I bought it. So it's worth the read and the reread. Just like Hood said, $5, go read it.
Yeah, and I got a bunch of these prints too. You know, like these, there's like, how many prints of these are there? Do you remember?
Like 8, there's like 9
nine prints, right? Yeah, 9 prints. So I don't know. Great book to read. Just buy it cheap and read it.
Yeah.
All right, friends. So here we go with the crispy new sales on this book on January 8th. A 9/6 sold for $135.
Okay.
Yeah, not bad. On January 7th, another 9/6 went for $125 with $14.50 for shipping. On the 27th of December, a 9/6 went for $100, and then on December 27th, another 9/6 went for $100. So if you could see this here, it looks like it's kind of going up, the price on those 9/6s, right?
Yeah, I mean a little bit. Yeah, exactly. Through the days there that are listed, yeah, it's gone up a little bit. You know, they got in right before the new year and they got it for $100 each. That's a great score.
And then on January 7th for the raws, it looks like one went for $38 on 15 bids. Not bad for on the bidding for that book. And then on January 7th, another one went for $50. And I'm looking at Space. He's doing some exercise back there. I'm like, are you trying to wave me down?
No, I'm trying to get fit, man. I'm calisthenics. I gotta beat up the Joker.
See, we're not gonna hide anything because I'm like, I was like, did I say something wrong, bro? Like he's waving me down. Like,
sorry. I didn't mean to throw you off there, bro.
No, I was like, I'm just making sure. I'm just making sure there's no boogers in my nose. You can't even see me, you know. So, and then on January 4th, we have another first near mint one sold for $70, and then on let me see here on January, another one on January 1st sold for a best offer off of $70. I'm calling like $60. You know,
yeah, that's probably exactly what it was.
I mean, but I'm gonna keep going with it. You know, I mean, you could find some reader copies over there on eBay land or in your local, you know, comic book shop, and just get this book and you know, as something on the counter that you can read or some guests can read and get them in a comics. You know, maybe when your kids get older, maybe it's something they can read too, because you know, when Barbara Goring got shot, that was like one of the biggest things about this book. Is like, damn.
Yeah.
Ruthless.
Ruthless, and I think they show her butt too. So like, you know, that's like that was the big thing. Like my daughter loves the Joker, and she was like, Dad, can I read it? Dad, can I read it? And like, let's just wait till you're like 14 or 15.
Yeah.
And then like the day she turned 14, she's like, okay, I'm going to read it. I'm like, okay, cool, whatever.
Yeah, but you know, this transformation to like this ruthless Joker is one of the best, man. You know, one of the best in the 80s. So check it out, read it, buy it slab. But Hood says buy it and keep a reader copy for yourself.
Definitely. Okay, next book up on the list today is Captain America number 100. This iconic cover, right? This book has been homaged a million times as well. This is the first appearance of Cap in the Silver Age. All right, this is like his kind of like reintroduction, and you can see all the rest of the Avengers there behind him. It's kind of weird that Hood and I were just talking. This is a good one to have on the list because this is not one you see very very often dip in price. This is a book that everyone wants. Even if you're not a big Captain America fan, this is like one of the like 2 or 3 big Captain America books that you want. Even if you're not like his favorite or he's not your favorite.
I was thinking about Dan De La Torre when this book popped up. I'm like, we need a feature for Dan. We need a feature for Dan.
I bet you Dan's got a copy or two of this.
I bet you he does. Yeah,
for sure. They probably look pretty nice too. So, but yeah, I mean, this was at 76. It fell 7 spots to number 83, which is kind of surprising. This is a great book to feature, like Hood said, on this list. Let's get into it and see what's going on with it. Okay. Has GoCollect, and the census says for CGC, first issue to the Silver Age titled series, The Death of Franz Gruber. Awesome art.
Poor Franz.
Yeah, poor Franz.
Poor Franz Gruber.
Yeah.
They should have named him Franz Goober.
I know, right? Yeah,
fun.
Yep, it would have been perfect, right? We'll just call him Goober. But art on this was by Artie Simek and the King Jack Kirby. Whole 12 cents when it came out, right? Silver Age book. It's going to be.
I just love Jack Kirby books because you always can tell, right?
You can tell, yeah. You could see, you could all that you could just see a fist, and it would be you'd be like, oh, that's a Jack Kirby book, or like an arm or something.
Yeah.
You can tell absolutely.
I don't know. Maybe I want this type of art again. I don't know.
I mean, there's a few that do it like not exactly like this. Ed Piskor he does some pretty cool kind of reminiscent, not all of his work, but just some of his things are reminiscent of like Kirby style. And there's certain people that kind of draw like him as well. But I would love to see a whole book like a dedicated to Jack Kirby and drawn in the style of Jack Kirby by a bunch of people. That'd be really cool.
Yeah.
Universal copies of this, there's over 5,000 of them graded. Signature, there's 567. Restored, 285 with that purple label of death. But for a book that's this old, you know what? Beggars can't be choosers, right? So people are they want, key issues like this. It's a little bit of a determining factor, but it's not as as much of a deterrent as it is to newer books that get the purple label. Qualified, there's 34. So, a few of those as well. 9.9s, there's 2 on the census, which is kind of surprising. One sale.
That's crazy.
Sale,
where would you put this to keep it at a 9.9? Where would you have found it?
It had to be one of those things like we've been talking about, where it's buried in a box, sandwiched between everything else, so nothing can get to it, right?
But it has to be like placed perfectly. Like you can't place things on it because the pages just stick together. It's amazing. I don't know. It's pretty amazing.
It is. Well, also too, I know that
and they're tough on these stuff. CGC, they're probably tough as hell on this this type of book.
I think they're definitely tough on these books, especially. But I know that as far as like the paper was different then, so they give it a little bit more of a break when it comes to like the color grading scale. But as far as like the actual book and making sure obviously everything's complete, there's no damage and stuff, they are very, very tough on these older books like that. But to have 2 on the census of a book this old, that's kind of mind blowing.
It's crazy.
At a 9.9, I mean, last one sold April 4th, 2021 for $78,000. So, that hopefully they got
worth more.
Yeah, it's got to be worth more now.
90, about 90. What do you think? 90? Yeah.
Yeah, probably close to 90, 93 or something like that. I would imagine, but that's, I mean, good on them. Maybe they cashed out and bought a house. And I don't know. That's a great.
Yeah, you could. Yeah. Down payment right there.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, even more so. 9/8, there's 48 on the census with 15 sales. The FMV on that is 10,500 with a 1-year average of 9,600. So, this is a book, like we were saying, it's weird to see this book on that list because this book is so desirable. Everyone wants it, everyone is, I love Captain America. I want Captain America 100. This is thought of as the first kind of Captain America, even though he was around in the Golden Age, punching Hitler in the face and stuff like that. This is kind of the first reintroduction. So this is very, very desirable. 9/6.
This is a Captain America like us kids know. Us Gen X and Gen Zs know.
Yep. Yeah. This is like, in my mind, when I think of Cap, I think of a couple books, and this is definitely one. This one and Avengers 4 are like the ones that stand out to me the most. 9/6, there's 61 on the census, 36 sales. So that one's moving too. FMV is 7,750 with a 1-year average of $8,000. That one's a little lower, but that's kind of to be expected with ones that high of a grade because they don't move as much. 9/4, there's 146 on the census with 84 sales. FMV is 2,250. Your 1-year average is $2,569. 90 days, just about $2,500, and your 30 days just under $2,000. So it's gone up a little bit from the 30-day, but it's down from the 1 year. So it's an attainable key and a pretty high grade. You can get that for that's really not that much money compared to a lot of other really big key books for characters as big as Captain America like that. I was looking at this one, and for me, I would probably stick around the 7.5 range, 8.0 range.
I'm with you.
Really desired this book because 8.0 range FMV 750, and your 1 year is 620, 90 days 456, and there's no info on the 30 days. So I bet you could probably throw $600 out and get an 8.0.
Definitely
625, something like that. You can get yourself an 8.0, and just below that, your 7.5's FMV 600, and your 30-day on that's 550. So I mean, you could probably get a 7.5 for around $500 even. So that would be me. Like Hood likes to say, the plebes. We'd probably plebes like us. We'd probably go for one that's around that grade. But if you got a little bit of extra scratch, $2,000 for a 9.2 or even just under that, that's nothing to sneeze at. That's a pretty good deal. All right, over on the Electronic Bay on January 8th, one looks like a 9.0 went for best offer accepted, just under $1,700. So not too bad. The 9.2 is FMV's around $2,000, so that's pretty good. They probably got it around, I would say, $1,600 or $1,550. So nothing to sneeze at there. A 9.4 sold on the 7th, right below that, for just under $2,000. So they got a deal for sure, because it's a little bit higher in that grade. A 3.0 went for $240. So not too bad there. That's pretty good looking 3.0 copy. And on the 6th, it looks like a 4.5 went for $200. So they got an even better deal. Good on them, man. $200.
Good job.
For a 4.5.
Good job.
That's a great steal. On the raw side of things, on the 6th, looks like they're saying this is a near mint plus 9.6 off white pages, went for $34.50 on one bid. So I mean, good for that seller.
Is it like a best offer accepted though? So I don't. It's like
it's weird that it's not crossed out, right?
Maybe it just went for $34.50. The guy said, "I'll take it for $34.50," and he closed it.
Yeah. It could have been it. Yeah, he just accepted it, or maybe. I don't know. Yeah, that's kind of odd. It's usually you see see it crossed out when the best offer is accepted. But I mean, either way, the seller, good on them, because who knows if that's going to come back a 9.6. I'd be bummed if it didn't. I'll tell you that much, for paying that much money for it.
Right.
But especially when you look over there and a 9.4 is going for $1,500 less, and you're like, it comes back a 9.4. I overpaid this much money on it.
Right.
So
you better be sure.
Yeah, you better. Yeah, exactly. Get some kind of guarantee or something. On December 31st. Yeah, exactly. Like, just like you're playing blackjack, you know. Looks like on the 31st, another one, a fine copy went for best offer accepted, under $300, and the 28th, 9.6, same kind of thing, you know, $27.50, but best offer accepted. So they probably got it around $2,500. Better make sure that's a 9.6 copy, right? Get that insurance, like Hood's saying. Another one on the 28th went for just over $200 with $7 shipping on 24 bids. So, you know, hopefully that
Not
was
bad.
yeah, exactly. I mean, hard to tell unless you see those high res scans, but you know, decent looking copy for $200, not too shabby. All right, repeat offender alert.
Repeat offender.
Repeat offender. We got Fantastic Four number 48. Right, this iconic cover, that highly desirable book that everyone wants for two big reasons: Galactus and Silver Surfer. Right, that's
Still a deal, though. Still a deal.
Yeah, I mean, like it's down. It's the reason that it's on this list, right? So if
The list you don't want to be on.
Yeah, exactly. It's but unless you want it to be on this list because you're looking for this book. So, you know, now is the time to get this book, and you'll see in just a minute here. This book is down 23 spots from number 48 to number 71, and that's a pretty big slip for this book because this one is desirable, just like the Captain America book. People are always hunting this book. I'm always hunting it. I've never owned it. I've never found the sweet spot of how I wanted to get in there and try to get this book, but maybe now's the time. I don't know. I'm gonna dive into this a little bit deeper over the next week and see if it's something that can be worked out. But yeah, what a fantastic cover, and kind of shocking that this is on the book. But let's check it out and see what's going on with it. All right. First appearance of Silver Surfer. First appearance of Galactus and cameo, right?
Classic.
Classic book. Same thing as the same two people doing the art on this as the Captain America book, Artie Simek and Jack Kirby. And this is written by Stan the Man Lee. Whole 12 cents when it came out on March 1st, 1966. Iconic book. Not much more needs to be said about it other than everyone wants it. There's 8,217 copies of this graded. Signature, there's 711. Restored, purple labels, 529. Qualified, 143. 9/8, there's 43 on the census, and that's kind of surprising that there's that many. I would expect there to be, you know, in the teens and 20s of this book, but 23 sales, and your FMV is a cool $86,000. So
it's kind of, but look at the 1 year. So one of them sold for 87, bro.
I know, right? Like, I mean, good on them. It's down just a hair from that, right? But I mean, you're still going to get probably right around that mark, maybe 85 grand at the lowest for this, but this is going to go for above $80,000, and this is one of those books that will just continue to increase in price. So if you can get a great deal on it, I'd say go for it, because it is one of those blue chip books that everyone is going to want, especially when Galactus or the Silver Surfer shows up. Right, they're gonna watch people start clamoring for this book all over again. So if you can get it now at a good price, I say go for it. 9/6s, there's 101 on the census with 53 sales. Your FMV for a 9/6 is 27 grand with a 1 year average of 33 grand.
Wow,
so,
man, the price is going up.
Yeah, that on that one, yeah, exactly. Like, so, you know, I think I remember when we looked this last time, I think it was closer to like 25. I want to say it was around there. So, you know, that's a decent hike, and not that long ago. We'll have to look back and see, but yeah, I'm pretty sure it was right around there. And so it's gone up, you know. 9/4s, there's 130 on the census with 50 sales. Your FMV on that is 13,500 with a 1 year average of just under 16 grand and a 90 day of $12,457. No info on the 30 day.
Yeah.
I would look for this, and personally for me, I wouldn't be able to afford
I know.
Probably anything that's on the screen. I
Even
would
on the
love.
6.5, I couldn't.
Yeah, yeah, I would love to, but even if you're looking at those and you have a couple grand in your pocket, burning a hole, you could get. I think the sweet spot on this one's, at least with the info that's on the screen now that everyone can see, 7.0. Your FMB's 24.50, but your 30 days just over $2,000. So that's a good chunk off right there. Close to $500. I bet you could get it for under $2,000. Maybe even 1,800 or 1,850 if you're able to work some kind of deal or something like that. So now's the time to get this book, man. All right, eBay is telling us a story with all these sales. So we got a 4.0 up on the top left side of the screen right there. $9.49 with free shipping. So under $1,000. That's not too bad, but it's crazy to see a half grade bump, and essentially $150 more. I mean, in an old silver age key like this, you're going to see that more and more. But when you're comparing a 4.5 to a 3.5, like the one right below it that sold on January 7th, the price difference, the 4.5 is $1,100, the 3.5 is $750. So I mean, that's a huge difference right there. It makes a huge difference if you don't have that much money. Another one.
I'll take a 3.5 any day though.
Dude, dude, yeah, absolutely. I'd take a 2.0 if the price was right. Yeah, as long as it looks good to me, I'm not so concerned with the grade in books that are this old. I'm just happy to have them. On the 7th as well, a 4.0 sold for 1 penny shy of $1,000, $999.99. So maybe they felt like they scored. I don't know. On the raw side of things, this book is still commanding a premium on the raw. You can see a 4.0 on one side, just a graded copy went for just under $1,000, and a 4.0 ungraded copy went for $820 off 12 bids. So That's not that much of a difference. And books like this that are older too, they're going to cost you more to grade. They put them in a different tier. So you're gonna get charged more money to grade it. I say if you're looking for that, if you're like dead set on a 4.0, man, just save a little bit more. That way it's guaranteed.
It used to take longer to get back to you too. I don't know how it is now. I haven't sent it.
Yeah, I haven't
in a while.
I haven't sent any books in quite a while actually. But yeah, it sometimes it felt like it was like a year. I mean, maybe that was just at the height, but especially for these older books, it definitely seemed like it took longer. On January 3rd, one sold for just under $800, $790.62, but with a whopping like $65 for shipping. So man, that's a steep shipping price right there. Hopefully it's packed well. Another one on the 3rd sold for $390 off 11 bids. And one more sold for best offer accepted of $775. So this book is still getting a lot of money for whoever's selling it, whether it's graded or raw. So if you got a copy, might be you already have one and you're thinking about selling it, might be a good time to hold on to it for a little bit longer till we get a little bit more news. But if you're dead set on selling it, man, you can get it sold for sure.
It's selling
because people are buying this book, man. Four graded copies sold on one day on eBay. So
wow,
something you don't see that often for a book that's this old.
All right, friends, last book of the week, and we have a repeat offender, but in a good way. We have The Last Ronin #1, the first print. This is new to the list at number 96. Sometimes we like to show the new books that come up on the list on the top 100 over on GoCollect.
Yep.
This was written, the art and script was written by Kevin Eastman, but it was an outline created by the co-creators, Kevin Eastman and Peter Laird. They did this way back when they first created the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, and they wanted to show the surviving last turtle and what was going on.
Yep.
And Kevin Eastman kind of took the reins on this and wrote the entire book, but he got some help on the art with Andy Kuhn. But there's a 1 in 50 of this number one, and that art was by Peter Laird and Kevin Eastman. One of their first art in, like, I don't know, what was, like 30 years together.
Got to be, dude, because they were not talking for a while, and I think this is what kind of, I don't know if this bridged the gap, but yeah, it was the first one in a long time.
Yeah, they were on some documentary. Remember when they brought them together and they made amends, and they did that cover together, and it's a great cover. I got it just because it was iconic because both of them were on it.
Yeah, back together again. Exactly.
Yeah. This was published during the COVID years. At the peak of COVID, October 28th, 2020. This is the first appearance of Ruku Hiroto. That's Shredder's grandson. And we also saw the first appearance of Casey Marie Jones. That's the daughter of Casey Jones and April O'Neil. And we get to see April O'Neil here as well. And, the older April O'Neil. This is actually also a really good read. I suggest it's on the paper cardstock as well. So you're gonna see a lot of 9.9s. You see a lot of gem mints, 10-0s. I mean, it's coming. I'm just want to warn you guys. But this book got hot because there's rumors that Netflix might take this over. I don't know if the rumors are true. It's just like people are making what do you call them, memes?
Exactly.
So, yeah, I put one over on my Instagram and it got the most likes in a long time. So that's how much people love the Turtles. They didn't want to see The Last Ronin. And I even know people who haven't even read The Last Ronin, and they know about The Last Ronin, and they kind of understand the story. Like there's just the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles are legendary with us old folks, us old guys.
Definitely.
And I'd love to see this on the small screen over on Netflix. I'd love to see it live action, like the way they did it back in the early 90s when they had the Ninja Turtles. That'd be total. It'd be totally awesome. But here's to crossing our fingers that we can get this in live action, because it's just rumors. There has been no talk.
Not at all.
Just memes. I mean, people hear things there and there from people like us. But I'm saying it here, there hasn't been anything official. It's just, people making posters of, The Last Ronin with a Netflix on the bottom.
Yeah, just having fun.
Just having fun. And I say keep doing it, because that'll push Netflix to actually do it, right? Like,
right. Like that's what they say, right? Like no bad publicity is still publicity. So like if it's getting the name out there to get somebody to make this, I'm all for it.
Yeah, and we're seeing like this book back here on the top 100. But let's see what's going on over here on GoCollect and CGC. All right, folks, and I want to welcome back the last one to the top 100 over on GoCollect. One of my favorite reads during COVID. I think this is I would say this is the book of COVID, because if you look at the prices, you'll see over on eBay, like this book. I mean, even with the bear market of comics happening right now, and it's a buyer's market, this book has stayed up in price.
Definitely.
Kind of makes me want to hit myself for not buying more copies. So
I mean, I only got one, and I like doubled or tripled my money on it. So I was like, cool, now I can buy a book I really want, after I read it. And I'm doing the same thing. I'm like, man, I should have bought like 10 copies of that.
I know they were still on the shelves. I was like, so on the census, there's about 3,558 graded. Signed were 2011. Restored, there's no purple labels for this one. I think that's the first time we ever seen that.
Yeah, it's been a while.
Qualified, there's 5. Conserved, there's 6. Like I told you guys, gem mints is going to be a ton. So there's 18 of these on, at a 10. Last one sold on June 16th, 2023 for $1,525. The 1 year average is $1,638. 9.9s is 322. That's a lot of 9.9s, bro.
It's a
You know,
lot of 9.9s.
Gem Mint Juniors, bro. Gem Mint
Yeah.
Juniors are the
Yep.
9.9s.
It's crazy.
$600 was the this was the last one sold on October 29th, 2023. The 30-day average is about 600, so it's staying there.
Yeah.
And the 9.8s, there's 2,670. They were all going for the 10s or the 9.9s.
Yeah, they were.
On this one, no one was going for it. Everybody kind of figured they were going to get a 9.8. They were going for the 9.9s and 10s.
Yep.
We really see that over here. So just think about the 9.9s as a 9.8s for this book. That's what I would say.
Yeah.
Right.
Good call.
Right.
Good call.
Right.
Yep. Yeah.
So about like 3,000 people try to get the 9.9s, and they,
Yep.
2,670 got the 9.8, quote unquote 9.6s. So F&B on that is $180. The 30-day moving average is 182. So that's staying steady.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
But
it's cruising.
This book was the COVID, the COVID book, I would say. This was the COVID book.
I agree. Absolutely. This book was everywhere too. Everyone was talking about it right when COVID was first kind of popping off, I remember. And they're like, oh, you got to get it. You got to get it. And I'm like, I can't find it anywhere.
It didn't let us down, though. It didn't let us down, right?
No. Yeah. Great read.
And I would say this is the book that got all the shop owners greedy, because remember, it was what was it?
Oh yeah.
It was a $10 book, right?
Yeah, it was like $9 or $10 for sure.
And everybody was, go ahead.
Yeah, no, dude, I remember I called the day it came out. I was like, to my LCS, I was like, hey, can you grab one off the shelf? The guy's like, there are no more. And I said, okay, are you going to get more? Yeah, we're going to get more, but they're going to be $15 or $16.
Yeah.
And I said, what? You got to be kidding. Nope, that's how much we're charging.
I think this is when the shop owners got greedy, like the LCS owners, because I remember seeing this at a couple of shops for like $30, $40.
Yeah,
I'm for reals. They were on the shelf. They're probably still on the shelf for $30, $40.
For $30, yeah.
It was because before that, I would, like shop owners are pretty cool. Everything was, as listed, so.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And then, you know what? We got a few. We'll put it on. We'll get one for you. Don't worry about it.
Yeah. I mean, do you remember any books before this being, subjected to the, the price hike?
Not really, dude.
Yeah, me either. I don't. What was that? The Batman one. What's her name? I even forgot her name now.
The Punchline. Yeah.
Was that before or after this?
I think it was after, wasn't it?
It was after. Yeah, I think it was after.
It was around the same price.
It's around this time. Yeah.
They did the same thing. You're right. They did the same exact thing.
If you're in the audience, let us know, because I think this was the first time like I've ever seen shop owners be like, for a new book, going like 4 times, 3 times, 4 times the price. So
yeah.
But it's still staying steady, and
yeah.
9.8s, man. You might as well, if you so.
I wholeheartedly agree. There's that many of them out there. They're plentiful, and even if you find this book raw, chances are you're still going to be able to get a 9.8 if you.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah,
so
if you want to go buy it's probably still on the shelf in their shop. So if you want to go buy a $40, Last Ronin that's on there, that's priced that way, you'll probably get a 9.8 on it. It's not that hard.
More than likely, yeah.
It's that glossy paper cardstock stuff, and it's oversized too, right? Yeah. It's oversized. Yep. Yeah, it's an oversized book. I remember they had the one I really think would be a good investment is that ash can that came out for this. Remember the ash cans?
Yeah.
That was super oversized though, that ash can.
Yeah, that exactly. You're right though. I think that would be a great investment, especially if this does end up popping off one day and turning into a show. People are going to be really looking for those rare, hard to find ones, and that's going to be one of them.
Yeah, because I remember the ash cans, like stores didn't get that many. They got like maybe 10. So that one, this was really there was a high print count for these ones, so definitely. I'd say ash can probably would be where I'd go, right? So
yeah, for sure.
All right, folks, let's check out and see what's going over here on the good old eBay. So a 9.8 white pages, they're all going to be white pages. Why they're I mean,
why even say that, right?
Do we even need to say a white page on a modern book that came out in 20?
Yeah,
2020.
2020.
2020. Yeah, like,
They
come on.
they better be white pages. Is all I have
Better,
to
yeah,
say.
yeah. I'm gonna return that stuff to IDW, bro. Come on.
Yeah, for real.
Yeah, that one went for 227 on 25 bids. Look at that. 25
Wow.
bids. Still a real popular book.
Yeah.
Then we got one signed by the man, Kevin Eastman. Super
Mhm.
nice guy. Of all the creators that I've ever met, Kevin Eastman is the best. He's the best. I don't,
Yeah.
hands down.
He's always personable. I mean, I remember the first time I ever said anything to him, I just walked by. I was like, Kevin. He turned and looked at me, and he's like, "What's your name?" I said, "Craig." And he goes, "Hey, Craig." And he stood up and shook my hand in the middle of drawing something. I was like, "Wow, what a nice dude, man."
He's the most appreciative of all the creators I've ever met. He just loves his fans and gives his fans the time.
Yep.
He's awesome. He's just,
Yeah.
I cannot
Good.
say more about Kevin Eastman. You
Yeah.
guys,
Good.
like,
Good
right here
dude.
on
Good dude.
best dude ever.
Yep.
And then we have another one signed with a sketch, because Kevin will even do free sketches for you. It's crazy. Like he'll look around and say, you asking for a sketch, or look around, it's like, my wife looking, and then he'll just do a sketch for you.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
it's the best.
Exactly. He's cool.
You got one signed and a sketch for $650. Look at
Yeah.
that. So the
Yeah.
other guy got a pretty. Oh, he had a 9.6. So this is a 9.8. Yeah, this is a 9.8. So, and then on January 5th, another Last Ronin went for 9.8. Another 9.8 signed and with a sketch by Eastman. Less than 500. So I say 450. Right.
Yeah, that's probably fair.
And then here we go, man. Here we go with the raws, and this is what I'm talking about. The raw. Look at the raw prices. They're just sticking around, dude. Like
crazy, dude. That's crazy.
I mean, there's nothing like the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle fans, because even if you're not like a hardcore fan, you're still a fan. So like, it's you could be a fan, a hardcore fan, but there's like hardcore fans times 10. Like it's just in our generation, like this is. Remember when they used to come out with the toys? Like they would always be gone off the shelf when we were kids.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Yep. I remember I always was looking for, because Leo is my dude. So I was like always looking for the Leos, and they were always gone. Leo and Mikey were always gone. I was like, I never find them.
Man, I was a Ralph and Mikey, yeah. And I also, man, I like them all. I like Donatello too, because I was always playing Donatello on the video games. Remember on the because his stick was so long, you could just like, I mean, no pun intended, right? Like, but remember the video game, like people couldn't reach you, so you just like you pick them up and throw, and you whirl them for a second and throw them, right?
Yeah,
remember?
Exactly. Yeah. And, you know what? That brings a good point. If you guys do play any video games, go get the remastered, whatever it's called, Shredder's Revenge or Cowabunga or whatever it's called.
Oh yeah, bro.
Dude, that game is so fun. It's so much fun. It makes you feel like you're 12 years old again.
Bro, they still have that at the coin up here in San Diego. They have that game. Bro, like, that's the only game I play. I'll just spend $10 on there and win the whole thing with like 4 guys. We won't even let. I just tell a guy, stick around. We're gonna win this. So
Nice.
So on January 5th, we have a bundle here. So it looks like someone got the Last Ronin first print and a metal lunchbox for $150. Not bad. I like that.
Bad. Yeah,
that's not bad.
Especially consider what those raws are going for. That's not bad at all.
It's not bad at all. And then on a near mint sale, sold for less than $108. I'm saying about 90 for that one. Yeah. And then here we go with the bids. Still strong at around $70 for a VF Plus too. For a VF Plus.
Wow.
And then on December 28th, another raw sold for $80. So, dude, this book stays strong. So
yeah, dude.
I don't know if you ever see one in if you're out there hunting, man, and you see him in I pick one up.
Definitely. For sure. Yeah. If this book is $20 or under, I mean, look at that return right there. Especially if you really want the book, that's a deal for the book. But even if you're just like, it's going for $80 still. Wow, it's fantastic.
I'm telling you, this book is a strong book. Out of all the books in COVID, like this book is staying strong. Yep. That's why I call it the COVID book, because great story, great read, done by the masters, and it's still holding its price. Can't beat that, right?
Not at all.
All right, friends, that's our show for this week. We want to thank you for joining us. Make sure you go to my boys YouTube page or YouTube. What do you call it? Your YouTube page?
Yeah, my channel, my YouTube
His
page.
channel, his
whatever.
YouTube
Yeah,
channel.
I mean,
I'm old. That sounds like an old man. Go to his YouTube page. You know.
yeah, we're the same age, dude.
I know. Why call it a YouTube page? Go
I
to
don't
his
know.
YouTube channel and sub up my boy. If you wait till the end of the credits, you'll see Space's logo there. You have to do is press it and sub up to him. And make sure you like and subscribe to this channel as well.
Down below.
You can find GoCollect's information in our description. Go and check that out as well. But again, we want to thank all of you for joining us again here on the New Year's. We really appreciate it. But no matter what happens, New Year, odd year, even year, how do we keep it, bro?
We keep it cool, baby.